A victory for Greg Gard in the transfer portal. Victory Onetu, to be exact. Gard just picked up a front court player, a center. He is everything that Bielauskis was not, and the reverse is true. This is an athletic but strong, in the lane kind of player from Hofstra. Averages about 17 minutes a game. About a 5-6 point scorer, 7 rebounds a game. Can block shots. I think he averaged 1 per game. Showing out against Alabama in the NCAA tournament this year for Hofstra in limited minutes. I think he played 19 minutes and he put up 5 points and 9 rebounds. He is not going to pop out and knock 3 down for you. Not the kind of player he is. But he's also not going to let a big beefy dude own you in the paint. I like it. I mean, I'm not going to pretend this is some future All-American that's going to, revolutionize the way Gard plays, but it is a piece that his last few teams have been sorely missing. A piece, frankly, that they had against High Point, they probably would have won the game. That kind of piece. A difference maker. In games that 4 or 5 points either direction can make a huge difference, he's that kind of player. And he's going to make you earn points in the paint, and that was, there were so many things to like about Wisconsin's 25-26 team. But one of the things I hated about it was so many easy baskets in the paint. The defense was just lacking sometimes. So I'm trying to avoid hyperbole here. And by the way, drop a scary like and a subscription if you haven't already. You'll be richly rewarded in the afterlife. I'm trying not to go overboard about what this means, but here's how I would term this. And this is just sneaky Greg Gard. This is not a name that anyone or anyone in anyone's family who covers Wisconsin had on their radar. Sneaky Greg Gard gets it done. A little bit like Autry. That wasn't the name people were talking about. There were people who knew that it was coming, but it was held close to the vest. This one's just like a thief in the night. Sneaky. But Gard gets a piece he needs. Will this be a starter? I don't think so. I don't think this is a starting position, but it seems like this name gets brought up all the time, but a Chris Vogt kind of player. Tough, gives everything he's got, gives you 10, 15 good minutes, D's up, going to get some points periodically, get some blocks, definitely get some rebounds, absorb some fouls. So, yeah, it's the kind of player. There are other holes in this team right now of higher order that need to be filled still. We've talked about this. But this is one I like. I like this. And actually, again, I never claimed to be an expert MIT researcher, an analytics guy. But I did do a little bit of a deep dive on him since this was announced today by Wisconsin. And I really, really like what I saw. Like what I read. He was a teammate of Sam Decker's over in Spain a couple years ago. And Decker, yes, he's a Wisconsin homer. Yes, he's going to always spin things to the side of giving the Badgers a compliment. But this kid was on the sort of the junior practice version of Decker's senior team, and Decker had nothing but good things to say about this. Decker's not going to say stupid BS just to say it when he knows this guy's going to be playing basketball games in 8 months for Wisconsin. I mean, so I believe that Decker's being sincere here when he's giving this guy props. Says a good kid. That's always a hallmark of the guys Gard gets, which I love. And says there's some game there. We will see if it translates to the Big Ten, but I have no reason to believe this guy cannot be a plug-and-play player. He showed it for Hofstra. As I mentioned, I mean, yes, Hofstra is a mid-major. We understand that, but it's a damn good mid-major. I wouldn't say they gave Alabama a tough game, but they stayed within 20 points in the NCAA tournament. And as I noted at the outset of this show, this kid, who will be a rising senior, played well. 17, 18 minutes, grabbed a bunch of boards, threw some points down. I think he had 5 points against a really, really damn good SEC basketball team in his role, in a role he's supposed to have. Is there room for development in his game that can take him to another place? I don't know. But as I was pointing out on social media today, Greg Gard is the guy who brought in the 297th ranked player in the 2024 Portal Class, a kid named John Tanji. I'm not comparing this guy to Tanji. You know that. And he got a Big Ten Player of the Year performance out of him. So I would bet an error on the side that Wisconsin will get more out of him than we have seen. And what I think that's probably going to look like, I don't want to put caps or ceilings on this guy. I don't have the analytical heft to be able to do that. But he's going to give some nice, solid minutes for the Badgers next year. And as I noted at the outset, give them a dimension, a type of player that they have lacked. Inside, shot blocker, rebounder, defensive guy. No, he's not going to help floor spacing because he's not going to be out there shooting threes, I hope. Unless they have an element of this game that they've hidden really well. But yeah, love it. Could have used him. It's the kind of player, I know I've said this on a number of occasions after the transfer portal closed last spring into summer for Greg Gard. I really liked the class a lot. I gave high praise to the class that Gard landed. But the little thing scratching in the back of my mind that I noticed and that I mentioned, and I wasn't the only one who did it, Ryan Herrings noted this as well, as did some of these other guys, Rajiv, Justin. They still lacked that shot blocking, rebounding kind of reserve center forward. And that hurt them in several games. You're not noticing it when Bielowskis is going out and drilling 6 threes against Michigan, which was his best game. We don't want to get into Bielowskis. He's a South Carolina Gamecock now. I think the kid probably cleared $100 extra by doing this, but his agents were happy about it. But it's neither here nor there. Sorry. I wish him all the best. You know that. But yeah, that was something that was missing from last year, and it's something we have now. And as I just noted, there are plenty of other pieces that are more important to fill right now, notably a scoring wing. Really hoping for the Elmer kid from Miami still. But trust in Gard. As bad as this transfer portal money situation is for Wisconsin, we've been over it ad nauseum. I really like what he's been doing so far. I mentioned in my last podcast, I like the Autry kid. Autry kid might be starting for the Badgers. He might be starting, guys. I'm not sure if that's ideal, but he's not a stiff. And that's good to know. But yeah, I think Gard has some work left to do in the portal. I think we're going to get at least 2 more guys, maybe 3. Still got to announce Nolan Winter signing. That has not been official. So that is still out there in the ether. I hear some people seeing that Blackwell hasn't signed with anyone yet and saying that they might be going after Blackwell. That would stun and shock me because it would mean that John Blackwell has either accepted a substantial downgrade in how much money he is looking for, or Wisconsin has had a rich uncle die and leave money to them. So I wouldn't be holding out for John Blackwell, guys. That'd be great. Love to see it. Not going to happen, I don't think. But anyway, really excited about this new addition for the Badgers. Delving into hyperbole a little bit. Really excited might not be there, but I'm happy they got him. Seems like a great kid. Seems like a good fit. I really also would love to hear what y'all have to say. I know you're probably, if you're listening to this podcast, you're one of the real ones. You're a, true blue Badger fan who probably does their research and is willing to watch a rotating orb for 10 plus minutes spewing information, which I really appreciate, as handsome as I am. But let me know what y'all think in the comments. Also, let me know where you think they should go next. Elmer seems to be the logical choice, but I do think there are some other areas we could patch up. And as I just noted a moment ago, I'd really, really love to hear that Nolan Winter is official. And I'm not saying every day that passes it makes it less likely. I don't think so. I think they're going to get him, guys. But it's something that could potentially not only make us feel better and less stressed, but could be something that's attractive for people to come into the Wisconsin program in the portal. It's a huge value add. Now, I don't know what they're telling these guys. They're saying, "Oh yeah, no one's coming. Don't sweat it." That might be what they're saying. But anyway, very, very cool victory formation for the Badgers, and Scary Alvarez is out.